War has been raging, and the city is reduced to ruins. Going outside in the daylight is an invitation to be shot. Everything is in short supply, and all humanitarian aid is seized by those who are most ruthless. Ordinary people are left to fend for themselves, huddled together in the ruins, relying on each other to survive. An old man, an old woman, a young man, and a young woman find themselves sheltering in a downtown building. Strangers to each other before the war, now they are reliant on each other to survive the coming days. The young woman has reserved apathy towards the old man, even though he tries with honest intention to connect with her and earn her trust. The old woman, whose name is Veda, is much more pragmatic, and she begins right away clearing rubble from the building with her bare hands. The young woman sets aside her prejudices towards the old man and goes to another part of the building to clear rubble. Meanwhile, the young man gets to work fixing the stove for cooking food. His name is Pavel. A ceasefire in order to evacuate civilians was broken, and many people died as a result. The nearby gas station was one of the first places looted when the war entered the city. Despite the shelling and the looting, the station is in good shape and still has supplies worth scavenging. Clean water is not available, and Pavel has fallen sick. He has yet to admit it to himself, however. His efforts to scavenge the gas station bears bounty, but it takes a terrible toll on his health. Veda complains to the young woman, Lata, about her lack of comforts. Lata is not listening because she is more concerned about Pavel's health. Veda is also concerned about Pavel's health. However, she becomes frustrated with Lata since she is so rude and decides to walk it off. Anton, the old man, busies himself by opening accessibility within the building they all reside. Lada goes to scavenge the gas station, and in her search she finds a note. A man's wife left the city without him, but hid their jewelry in the basement. She leaves the note and does not look for the jewels, so that the man it was intended for may find it instead. Lada's joy is soon dashed when she learns that thugs came while she was away. Anton and Veda are old and unarmed, and Pavel is sick. So the leaders stole their food, clean water, and cigarettes. The neighbor comes over to help. His name is Marco. Lata and Marco trade supplies, and this makes up for what is lost last night. Anton is able to find a shovel to clear the rubble from the basement, where he sets out to construct another bed. Veda busies herself in the kitchen and makes food for everyone to eat. It is Anton who goes to the gas station on the third night. He is able to access boarded areas to look for supplies. He finds a man out back who just buried the man whose note was left for by his wife. Even though he comes home with a lot of supplies, the sight of the man being buried unnerves him, so he smokes a cigarette. Facing his mortality, Anton thinks about the essentials of survival. Veda, on the other hand, reminisces about her life before the war. Interrupting Veda's thoughts, a neighbor, Zana, comes over as she is concerned for her daughter's safety. Veda agrees to help secure her residence, and all the people are happy to see the good in Veda's heart. Anton and Lada continue with their day while Pavel continues to recover. Even though Anton and Lada dislike each other, both understand that they share a common situation. So they stay out of each other's way as they set about ensuring each other's survival. Anton gets a radio to work, and it is broadcast that anyone attempting to leave the city will be killed. This really disheartens Lada, as she tries to come to grips with her world perspective. Later that night, Lada composes herself and goes out to gather the last supplies found at the gas station. Overall, it is a relatively good night. Pavel is plagued within his mind as feelings of helplessness wash over him. Anton has worked hard to bring comfort to everyone. Veda is grateful for this as Anton finishes building her a bed. There is a refrigerator in the basement of the gas station. Lada goes there at night for a final time to get the rest of the food there and go over anything that might have been missed. In order to respect the dead, Lada refrains from taking the jewelry hidden in the basement. Lada brings home a good haul and has lots of food. Even so, Anton worries about the future and what to eat when that time comes. Pavel has yet to recover, and the lack of medicine and fresh water does nothing to help. Since Veda stays up at night to guard against intruders, she decides to rest so that she may be fresh for tonight. Anton sets to building a water distillery so that everyone has fresh water and help Pavel's health to improve. Concerned with their food supplies, Anton goes out at night to look for food at the supermarket. But when he gets there, he lays witness to a great and evil horror. There is nothing he can do to stop this demon from manifesting. But the memory of what he witnesses brings a great wound to his soul. Anton comes home. He is filled with feelings of rage and impotence. It tears at him. And Pavel is dying. Veta understands Anton's feelings, and so does Pavel. Lata does not, however, and blames Anton for doing nothing. She curses at Anton and stands by Pavel as he lay in the bed. Anton stays away from Lata and Pavel as Veta cooks the food brought to them through Anton's efforts. Thoroughly depressed, it is up to Anton to go back to the supermarket and get more food. He meets a stranger there who has heard about last night's incident. The stranger proceeds to chastise Anton for doing nothing, placing more burden on the heart of an old man. Anton is angry and frustrated, filled with regret. So he takes it out on a pile of rubble where no one can see him cry out in anguish. This is the end of today's video, inspired by recent events. And I am your host, Mr. Raymond Blair. Please think about what was portrayed here today. And these events are happening today as well. Take care.